Maybe I should just reboot the game.
Well, that could be bad. And picking up my remote, I accidentally started Netflix, which is particularly funny because I hardly ever watch Netflix.
It's strange that the game died and the stream died, but Discord is totally fine.
Yeah, I don't.
Very odd. What a sad day. I hope I can log in again. Otherwise, we'll just have to call it for the night.
Yeah. But it is fine. Not how we intended it. We still got something accomplished.
My internet was weird today when I woke up. My Wi-Fi would connect, but then and error 307 booted from server. Hang on, let me Google it. I'm checking Reddit. It's happened to people before. Why do I keep getting booted from the server? I can't log in. It keeps booting me and saying error 307. It's done this before but worked right away after. Error 307 is the most annoying error. It means the servers don't know where you are. You need to wait until the server refreshes, which is about every 8 minutes. If you try to continue logging in before the refresh, it will reset your timer. Options for fixing: wait about 8 minutes, then try to log in again. Try logging in on a different server. Resetting the game may or may not work. Not confirmed. It may just take enough time that the server has reset. Oh my goodness, that's so sad. I guess, what should we do for 8 minutes? Any suggestions, chat? But why would the game kicking me also disconnect the server? Isn't that or disconnect the stream? That's super weird. I have no idea. What should we do? I don't think I can watch anything on YouTube. I think that would get us in trouble. We can check the store in Fortnite while we wait. See if there's any new skins available. It's strange that
a bunch of pirate skins.
A bunch of pirate skins? For what?
It might not have been Fortnite. It might have been League of Legends or one of the other games I don't play. It's hard to keep them all straight when it's not a group you're solidly involved in. But somebody went and added Pirates of the Caribbean skins.
I think it was leaked recently that Fortnite is going to be adding a Jack Sparrow skin. But I don't know if it's out yet. I heard about the leak. I can't believe it disconnected my stream. That's such bogus. Okay, we've got some X-Men skins. We've got Rogue and Gambit. I've always liked that classic 80s Rogue look. Very cool. Dark Phoenix. Oof, that's pretty cool.
Storm was always my favorite.
Storm's super cool. They've got Build Your Own Superhero, and then the Summer Collection. Beach Brutus. Beach Jewels. I don't know who any of these people are. Mecha Team Leader. Ooh, That's a cool Midas skin, though.
I think I see somebody with the Imperial. Companion tracks him? No, that would be his. No, that's same lady that you do, the Breton lady.
Oh,
The knight.
I can't remember her name. She's super nice. She's a good tank. Why does that not even look like Midas? It's weird.
So I ended up trying to use some of the name generator things that are out there. They're really terrible at coming up for names for places and things.
Yeah. Yes. I've tried using them. I was gonna say they're hit or miss, but that's not true. They're just bad.
Seem to be more misses than hits.
Yeah. And they really only generate like 12 different names, and then you start getting the same names in slight variations.
Yeah. I noted that. I miss the years of boundless creativity where I could just come up with a name at a drop of a hat.
I'm better at naming than coming up with the scaffolding of a full storyboard.
Really? Because I tend to do more. I'm able to world build a hell of a lot faster and explain how things are supposed to work.
I don't mind world building. It's the construct of a full beginning to end story. I've never been good at like sitting down and planning it out. A lot of times when I write it, I like to see where it goes more organically through the writing. But I've always definitely been better at naming places and people.
There's nothing wrong with pantsing.
Yeah.
Where you just see where it goes. And sometimes you end up with a little bit heavier editing process at the end, but it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, that's been the main thing. Is I enjoy editing. But you have to like sometimes I go back like too many times. Like one piece I was working on that got to about 1,000 pages was like I think I'd done like a dozen edits, and the person I was collaborating with was like, "You just got to finish it. Like stop editing it and just finish it."
1,000 pages, so you had like 3 or 4K. I mean, as in several 100,000 words.
Yeah, it was like a passion project throughout college. It was a novel about goblins in a fantasy setting.
I've never ever heard this. I had no idea you were writing
I
something to do with goblins.
I can see if I still have it. A lot of my writing files were on my old MacBook and did not survive transfers to better places. So if I still have it, I'll see if I can find it for you. I don't think it was good. That's why I've never like I don't particularly like promote it.
My first sci-fi I ever wrote may it never see the light of day, but I can't seem to delete it after. There were some good moments, but it was pretty terrible. Not particularly well thought out.
All right, I'm gonna try booting again. See how it goes. The thing that concerned me is right before it booted me, you had been standing still next to me, and then all of a sudden it teleported you like 50 feet forward and then 50 feet back. And I was like, that's not a good sign. And then a second later it crashed.
Yeah, I think it was unable to track you, and then lost track of every other player.
I just wish it hadn't killed the stream that way, because it kills the YouTube upload, because now it's 2 parts.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
If it was just an audio file, I could fuse them, but it's not just an audio file, so
right.
No fusing will be happening.
That's okay. Alright, I'm gonna click play. It's trying to connect. It's thinking. It looks like it's working. Yo, it's working! Actually, I'm in the character select. Let's cross our fingers. It is quite sluggish, but I am loading in, by the looks of it. Yeah, alright. What an adventure. Another marvelous
Technology
mishap.
works.
Talk to the tribe's wise woman. Oh boy. They're not so different from the orc tribes.
You surprise me, outsider. All here assembled say you are both brave and courteous. A hero worthy.
Brave and courteous? We haven't talked to anyone.
I still sense.
Of course there's a hidden motive. People don't just show up and do this for you.
So
Usually with us it's gold.
Asking you directly, what really brings you to Aldridge? I do not know this name, Haleron, but there is an ancestral tomb nearby. It hides among the rocks to the west, beyond the fire river we call Brura. I would not go there, outsider. Tombs are like guars. Left untended, they grow wild.
Yo, what's up, Prickly? Welcome on in. Our stream died, so I had to restart it. It's very sad.
No, but I have heard their cries. The spirits that dwell there sound anguished. They have a story to tell, I think.
I hate when that happens. Yeah, and because like it was weird because basically the game booted me. The MMO's server dropped, and that caused my stream to crash because it happened simultaneously, which I feel like is super weird because they're not even running on the same systems in any capacity. So it killed the stream, and then I couldn't log into the game. Like we're back now, but it also kind of sucks because for the export to YouTube, now it's in 2 parts, which is like gross. And they're both going to be like 1 hour parts instead of a nice big 2 hour piece. We need to talk to the Dark Elf again.
Yep.
I'm on the way. He's orating through your mic.
Oh yeah, that's my fault.
That
But
first-rate diplomacy.
I do actually have my
You're
remote
practically
back.
a clan friend already.
Oh, you lost your connection. I went
What did she
hunting
say?
for my remote. Oh, no wonder I'm being treated well. The other 2 cats
No
are
surprise
hanging
there.
out, looking out the
Without
window,
communion,
and
our ancestors
snuggling
grow
with my
agitated.
towel that I left
We
there.
dark elves tend to be prickly in life. More
I
doubly so in death.
yesterday, or was it the
I
day
have
before
to
when
know
it
if the tomb
rained,
belongs to my
I used a
family,
towel to wipe
but I'm
up
in
all
no
the
great
water,
hurry
and
to cut down the spirits of my
they've
ancestors.
taken to it.
Would you? What a relief. Take this sash. It bears the Haleron family crest. If the spirits lurking in the tomb are of Haleron blood, they'll recognize it. It might not keep them from attacking, but it should convince them that your motives are pure. Anything that could prove it's my family's tomb.
Do you think when we're in
seals,
camp we should
engravings,
pick
anything.
up the main
You
quest,
could
just
also
in
try
case it
talking
tells
to the
us to go
spirits.
somewhere else
The
too?
tablet I
Yeah,
found refers
probably.
to someone named Dranoth.
Couldn't
the
hurt,
family
right?
patriarch. Perhaps you'll find him inside. 3 protect you.
He has a weird beard. And by weird, I mean different. This doesn't seem like a very comfortable way to live.
Quickly! This way! I've been thinking about my brother's claim that he's the Nerevarine since we last spoke. No matter how I try, the word tastes false on my tongue. And now I fear he's about to convince the wise woman that his quest for power will benefit the tribes. My brother is respected and revered. He has allies in all of the tribes, not to mention his personal Red Exiles. We have to proceed with caution. Respect the Ashlander customs and traditions. Anything else
And that
will
would be
lead to
bad,
violence
right?
and bloodshed.
Violence and bloodshed?
I talked to my
Typically that
brother.
means a good payday
Try
for
to
us.
convince him this isn't the way. Barring that, we make sure the wise woman doesn't
I'm
get
not
drawn into his
opposed.
madness. Whatever Chodala says or does, don't attack him. We don't need a war between the houses and the Ashlanders.
Oh boy.
The wise woman. I was hoping she'd be here.
You're too late, dear sister. Despite your protestations, the wise woman has gone to the cave of the incarnate to confirm my claim.
Brother, do you really want to pursue this dangerous course?
There was a time when you gave me your unconditional support.
It never occurred to our
saying,
character to just, step
miss those
over and
days.
take the stick.
Technically, Vivek asked us not to start a war.
My brother Chodala is about to do something foolish and dangerous. But by dusk and dawn, Azura put you and I on the same path for a purpose. I just hope we have enough time. He's about to claim the title of the Nerevarine and try to unite the Ashlander tribes gathered here. He already convinced the Red Exiles to support him. He's using them to intimidate the other tribes. If he persuaded the Wise Woman to his cause. Wise Woman Dovrasi, the most respected counselor and spirit guide this side of Red Mountain. She went to the Cavern of the Incarnate to meditate on Chodala's claim. If she confirms my brother's assertion, the tribes will follow wherever he leads. Agreed. But I dare not leave Chodala alone with the tribes. I feel the hand of Azura in all this. Go to the Cavern of the Incarnate and talk to the Wise Woman. I'll stay here and try to keep things under control until you return. The cavern's to the northeast of Aldrin, on the other side of the mountain. Hopefully, the rumbling and lava won't slow you down too much. Get to the cavern and talk to the Wise Woman. If she accepts Chodala's claim about the Nerevarine. My brother isn't the first to believe he's Nerevar returned. All of the previous failed incarnates rest within the cavern. A statue of Azura watches over them as they await
And for
the
those of
arrival
you
the
just
true
joining the
Nerevarine.
stream, the Nerevarine is actually the main character
Azura
from
proclaimed that someday,
Morrowind, which I
Indra
believe is
Nerevar,
Elder Scrolls
a
3.
hero from our ancient
Mhm.
past, would return
The
to
true
unite the
So-
Dark Elves
Nerevarine.
and right the wrongs of Nirn. We call the returned incarnate
Needless
the
to say, this
Nerevarine.
is not going to end
My
well
brother
for him.
Chodala believes
Yeah.
that he's Nerevar reborn.
But he does have, the whole stick thing that is convincing him that all this is a good idea.
I'm not sure Vivek is aware that the person wielding the stick is also claiming to be the Nerevarine, because the prophecy of the Nerevarine is that it is the end of the tribunal. I'm not sure if Vivek would try to stop that, though. He might see it as fate.
She won't refuse my claim. Just in case, make sure the Red Exiles are
He
ready.
would have
Your word
definitely
is law,
said
Nerevarine.
something, though. So here's our dilemma. So I see the path up on the top of the map, but there is no connection to either the left side or the right side. Since we already have the waypoint unlocked on the left side, I think we should see if we can get to that upper path and then follow it over to the main quest.
You think from the Urshalaku camp
Yes.
and follow the road?
And follow the road.
Down
Or
with
try to
that.
get to it.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I think that's our most reasonable option. Otherwise, we're gonna have a lot of walking to do. And I'm opposed to walking in video games. I have a limit in real life.
Bethesda tends to want us to walk.
There's a lot.
Let's see, I'm gonna follow you. Or you
And
can.
I'm not horsing it up because I don't know what amount of trailblazing is going to be necessary here. I just know this is approximately the right way.
Probably once we get on the road, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll use a horse then, but to prospect up to the road, I'm
Yeah.
going with caution.
It often takes longer on horse anyway, because you end up having to keep dismounting and mounting.
Ooh, another book. Vivek and Mafala. Oh yeah, because Vivek is supposed to be the stand-in for Mafala.
Funny that his Daedric counterpart would be the patron of lies.
Yeah, I think he fits that part of the necessity quite well.
We are officially on the start of the road.
Well, no, because I'm over here.
Oh, you found another chest.
I can't remember whose this is now, though.
I'm pretty sure this one's you.
Okay. Oh, damn it, sometimes it's simple chests. Oh my.
Yeah.
Alright.
This looks like the northern coast road. It is marked with torches.
Here we are.
See if I can remember how to do this. No.
I'll try not to fall off.
Some kind of radial menu is what you told me.
It's one of, yeah, there we go.
And I'll try not to make you throw up.
It's a pretty straight shot across, for the most part. The Nightmare Courser's a nice touch. I appreciate it.
Slightly expensive amusement, but a necessary one perhaps. Interesting.
One day they'll release a skeleton horse multi-rider.
I can dream. We're definitely getting closer.
I can't believe they consider this a road.
I was waiting to try this spell out.
Oh, there's a merchant.
Oh, I have to tell you, I had the oddest encounter in Skyrim. I was running along one of the main roads, and I mean Skyrim ESO. I was running along one of the main roads to get to my next contract, and this random NPC was like, "Hey, do you have a minute?" So I thought that was kind of odd, and I stopped to see if I could talk to her, and I could. And she was kind of like in a sus-looking little clearing, and she goes, "My friends are all around us, watching us right now. You can either pay me, like, it was like 300 or 400 gold, or they'll find you and jump you at some point later down the road." And I was like, "Yo,
Oh, I'd so go with that.
I was like, I'm not paying you." And she was like, "Fine, my friends are a lot less friendly than I am." And then, like, that was the end of the conversation. She never left or anything, and I just continued down the road, but nothing ever happened. I mean,
Yeah, it
nothing
sounds
so
like one
far.
of those random encounters. It may eventually catch up with itself.
I've never seen that before. I thought it was interesting.
We also have yet another undiscovered delve close by.
Azura is my shield, you foul creatures.
Ew.
Clavicus Vile.
Yeah, we've known for a while that he's here.
But I sense you came for a different purpose.
That he's
Walk inside the cavern.
active in Ardenfell.
This looks like it's a shrine to Zura.
Is it?
An outlander.
Look at the moon and the sun.
Yeah,
No,
she's
my
talking
lady,
to
of course
her.
not. I'll do as you ask. Come here, outlander. We must talk.
Oh boy.
It feels strange to talk to an outlander in such a sacred place, but the Queen of the Night Sky insists. I need to render judgment on an important claim, and she says you can help me reach the correct decision. Words of truth from the mouth of an outlander. Remarkable. The Red Exiles and a few others believe that Chodola is the Nerevarine. He's convinced them, but not me. I came here to consider my options. I fear a bloodbath if I oppose his claim. Perhaps, but I must remain impartial. If someone else reveals the flaws in Chodola's claims by comparing him to the failed incarnates, that might do the trick. We thought the incarnates were possessed by the spirit of Nerevar.
Oh
But
my.
each had a
This
critical
could be
flaw
interesting.
that made them destined to fail to fulfill the prophecy. Their spirits reside here. Yes, you should speak to the incarnates. I see Azura's wisdom now. Take this pouch of blessed grave dust. Sprinkle a pinch upon
Oh
the
my
bones of the
God.
incarnates to call
They're in
forth
like
their
horrible
spirits.
positions and shape.
Return to Aldrin after you have learned all you can. Perhaps we can curb Chodola's ambitions before they lead us to war.
Are they?
We need knowledge to defeat Chodola.
Look at their
Outlander.
bodies.
Oh,
Listen
oh,
well to what the failed incarnates
oh
have to
my.
say.
I was
I
expecting
would bet-
skeletons.
I would bet Vivek had something to do with this.
Once I was the hope of my people, but then my claim was proven false. Now I wait, and I hope for the Nerevarines' return. State your question, Outlander, and I shall do as Azora urges. To fulfill the prophecy, I followed a path of blood and war. In the end,
Not
my
sure I
path
get it.
became a road
Sure.
that led nowhere, and I was cast down from my lofty spot. Take my
Oh
scroll
dear.
and help the wise woman understand the futility of a senseless war.
The Nerevarine remains a promise unfulfilled, and I am as guilty of prideful posturing as every other failed incarnate that occupies this hall. Ask your question and let's be done with this, Outlander. The Nerevarine must listen as well as proclaim. I refuse to accept wise counsel, which led to the doom of my tribe and the end of my quest to embody the spirit of Nerevar. Take my scroll and remind the wise woman that wisdom ignored is ignorance.
We are the failed incarnates, the Ashlanders who proudly proclaimed themselves to be the Nerevarine, but were found wanting. The Lady of Dawn and Dusk urged us to cooperate. So ask your question, Outlander. Take my scroll and help the wise woman see the lie of unbridled power. I thought myself the reborn Nerevar, for I was the strongest, most powerful warrior in all the land. But power alone won't save my people. In the end, it couldn't even save me.
Mortal, let us speak.
Oh jeez.
I foresaw your usefulness before you even set foot in Vardenfell.
Now comes a test that will challenge your ability to separate truth from lies. You must convince the tribes that Chodola is not the Nerevarine. Doversee's wisdom outshines most other mortals. She recognizes the futility of Chodola's claim. If she rebuffs him, however, the tribes will turn on each other, and blood will flow. The staff, Sunra, it makes Chodola confident, reckless. Your instincts served you well. Chodola's path took a dark turn. However, my sight clouds when I look too closely. Sothasil built Sunra, but he did not create it with this vile purpose in mind. You must act on my behalf, and Vivek's. Then go. Return to Aldrun and help the wise woman reveal the falsehood of Chodola's claim. And let Saren assist you. She is my champion and a trusted friend of all Ashlanders. Use what the Incarnate shared with you. Their failures point the way toward Chodola's downfall. But beware Chodola's power. He may not be the Nerevarine, but some greater agency has lent strength to his conviction. Due to an ancient pact, I am not permitted to interfere in the affairs of Nirn. Even this casual discussion pushes the boundaries of that agreement. Instead, I must work through trusted agents, such as yourself and Saren. Helping that arrogant imposter? Whatever gave you the idea that I was helping that murderer? Vardenfell must stand. Everything I do in this regard serves that single goal. Best that you remember that, mortal.
Yeah, no need to get snippy there, Azura.
You asked why she was helping Vivek too, because I was a bit puzzled by that too. I was like, wait a minute, you don't like this person for good reason.
She doesn't like Vivek, but she likes the Dunmer. They are her people, after all.
Essentially, the Ashlanders are her people, because they worship her and the other three.
The Ashlanders represent the original Dunmer. Once upon a time, they all worshipped her.
Alright. Now, do we want to see this to its conclusion, or do we want to go check out this delve?
I'm invested.
Alright, let's go see this to its conclusion.
Where are we headed? Oh.
Back to the Ashland camp?
Find the ancestral tomb, is that it?
No, Divine Delusions. We need to
I
talk
see it.
to Saren and get a battle plan together.
It takes us back to the other side quest, also.
Now, we may have time to solve his problems, that'll depend.
Thank the moon and star. You've returned. The wise woman returned from the cavern of the Incarnate and went right into Scar to meet with the tribes. Chodola's in there too, about to be named the Nerevarine. Tell me you came back with something to stop my brother's rise to power. Ah, of course. Use the tales of the failed Incarnates to counter Chodola's arguments. That's brilliant. Well, except for one problem.
An outlander has no status in the council. The Ashlanders won't listen to a word you say. Someone else has to present the arguments. Someone they trust. I suppose that means I have to challenge my brother. With your help, of course. You spoke to the Incarnates, not me. I'm familiar with their stories, but I'll need you to help me choose the appropriate argument to counter each of Chodala's claims. I hate opposing my brother in this. I just don't see another way.
You gotta remember all three of these people.
Yeah, it's a memory quest.
Incarnate Runso was strong and powerful.
Luckily, there's no ticking timer, so I can think this through.
He failed. When Chodala proclaims his power, that's when we'll refer to this scroll's sad tale. Incarnate Aduri was a champion of my people. She defended us against great threats. But when she grew to love war for war's sake, she proved she wasn't the Nerevarine. When Chodala proclaims that war is the answer, hand me this scroll. Incarnate Darnot thought his way was the best way. He rejected the counsel of the Wise Women and the Ashkans, something Nerevar would never do. When Chodala proclaims he knows better than anyone, we'll use this scroll. Meet me inside.
Well, that one's easy enough.
As a warrior and as an Ashkan, I was the most powerful of my age. But for all my strength, I failed my people. Don't follow my example.
The faithless houses dare to threaten our land, but we shall meet them in battle, and I will lead us to victory.
This is more nerve-wracking than I anticipated. Which scroll do you recommend to counter this argument? That makes sense. Incarnate, appear!
The path to the Nerevarine was a path of blood and battle, but my love of war was my undoing. War is not the way.
These failed incarnates prove nothing. I need no counsel but my own, as befits my status as the Nerevarine.
Well, that one's obvious.
Incarnate, appear!
I refuse to accept the counsel of the Wise Women and the Ashkans. I thought I knew best, but I knew nothing. That is not the way of the Nerevarine.
Seren and the Outlander, their arguments have merit. Chodala, we deny your claim. You are not the Nerevarine.
This proves nothing! Look how the staff protects me! I am the Nerevarine!
Brother, no!
Red exiles
Black
will slay
now.
the unbelievers!
Oh, that's not good.
No.
I'm afraid we
Really
might have...
predictable.
We've started a war, but maybe not a unified front with the Ashlanders, so Vivek might be okay. Why is this one so strong? It's like a champion.
I think it's the head of their order.
Oh, the chieftain of the Ashland of the red whatever.
You were amazing!
Alright, we gotta go handle the brother and the sister. Not that we need to kill her.
She seems fairly agreeable. But I mean, we could, if there's gold involved, we can definitely kill her.
Go to my hut and get my healer's sack. Now.
I hate what my brother's become.
Mortal, I would have words with you.
Oh dear.
Chodola has been revealed as a failed Nerevarine, but that hasn't dissuaded him from his reckless course of action. As long as he wields the staff, he shall be unstoppable. Time is against you, mortal. Even now, Vivek, that pompous usurper, grows increasingly weaker. As much as I deplore him, Vivek cannot fall to Chodola's vile magic. There's another power at work here. One I can't quite put my finger on. Return to Vivek City. Do what you can to aid Vivek, and pay heed to my faithful vessel, Saren. I name her Champion of the Moon and Star. She will play a pivotal role in ending her brother's march toward godhood, if she survives.
That was
Well,
exhilarating.
Hey, her brain's not pudding. Probably a good thing.
that probably is.
You want to hit the side quest while we're still here?
That is up to you. This quest is getting very close to its climax very quickly, even though we're only in completed 2 of 7.
Yeah, I don't think we're nearly as close. I think it's just a well-written storyline.
Alright, let's go worry about the ancestral ties, then.
I think because we're here anyway, we may never have a chance to be... We may never have a good reason to be back here.
Complete the quest.
Find the ancestral tomb.
Oh, this is gonna be delightful. I can already feel it.
Oh, there's lava. Oh dear.
I'm not sure this is where we need to be either.
Did you make a friend?
You know, I don't think so.
Look at you. Pretty impressive.
I think this is it.
Oh good, I did guess right.
Not exactly an inviting place for an ancestral tomb.
I mean, location, location, location. First part of real estate.
It's hard to tell though, you know, they might have built it before there was lava everywhere. One of the hazards
Pretty sure
of...
that, volcano has been here a really long time.
Yeah, but the lava flows can
You
shift.
bear our crest, but your blood runs dry as ash. You are no Heleron. If you come as a friend,
I really wish they
prove
didn't
your
use the
intent,
Nord
pay homage,
voice actor.
or join us in
The Nord voice actor is really good at playing a Nord, but he literally can only do a single voice.
Yeah, he has a habit of breaking character whenever he tries doing anything else.
I hate to say it, he's not a particular voice actor. We're just cutting down his ancestors, it's fine.
Don't be dead again.
Yeah, they're already dead. What are they gonna do? Die again?
We were nomads once. It was Saint Veloth's doing. He taught our hearts to wander. In those days, the first Ashkams called me brother.
So this guy's ancestors were Ashlanders?
I think they were all Ashlanders once upon
Don't mess
a
with
happier time. Well, the noble houses may not think it was a happier time.
Yeah, the noble houses are also slavers, so their opinion is not the most...
Dubious?
Yeah.
I do like how easily we kill things. It's very satisfying.
Yo, if we can't kill a ghost here and there, what good are we?
Kill? I'm not sure that's the right word.
Banish?
You were amazing.
Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, look, we got ourselves a noble. And a dead noble.
What's the difference between undead and re-dead?
One has un in it, the other has re.
Wow. I mean, Zelda has re-deads, but they're functionally no different than an undead.
Great scar. With my spear, I struck the final blow. All of Veloth's children embraced in triumph. Then everything changed.
What is that you're standing in?
What do you mean?
Oh, there was some kind of AoE effect in that area. It just went away.
I love how we're not even on the prayer mat.
We're also not his ancestors, we're also not Dark Elves, we're also both fairly sacrilegious adventurers that don't actually believe in anything.
And settled beside the fire river.
Speak for yourself. I believe in gold. Sorry.
I believe in a healthy bottom line.
Oh, this guy's now not an enemy target. You went the wrong way, kitten.
I had one more shrine to pray to. I'm always behind you.
Oh, you... Gotcha.
New Ashkans took their place with souls dark as pitch. They painted their faces and slaughtered.
After you pray at all the shrines, apparently nobody wants to murder you anymore. That's kind of charming.
It's funny how even the afterlife has bureaucracy.
Silence.
Oh jeez. It's a nice place. I'm surprised how much plant life's down here.
I sometimes forget the courage and vigor of the flesh.
The courage and the vigor of the flesh. That is a heck of a line.
On behalf of my family, I beg your forgiveness. What brings
Sorry,
you to
go
our
Hellraiser so
forsaken
fast.
tomb?
We
Yours
have
is the
such
only
sights
living
to
heart
show
that
you.
knows our sad tale.
Oh my god, it's
The
just a little too
box.
close.
You opened it, and I came.
It's weakened. It's
The
definitely weak for
Helaron name
us too.
survives. Then there is hope for our
Hexy said, I made it, I'm here.
You must
What's
take
up?
my
We're
spear
communing
and
with the
deliver it to
dead.
this Drellith.
And the soon-to-be
As long as a member
dead.
of my house carries that spear,
What's up, Hexy? How's your day?
strength of the
How are you
Helaron
feeling?
lives on.
You remember last stream, Shadow Hexy was like scooping fungal samples from trees?
Indeed.
They
Something
breathed
had
a
been
bunch
killing
of it
trees.
in, and they now have a lung infection.
I am not
Yes.
surprised fungal pneumonia
Tell him
is
that
a real
Aldrin
problem.
was,
It's actually one of the ones I more
and
commonly
forever
get.
shall be
Ugh.
our home. So long as my house lives in exile, the
I'm highly
spirits that
allergic to
haunt
most
this
mold
tomb
spores
shall
and
never know
whatnot.
peace.
I feel like
Drellith
mold is not good
must
for
claim
anyone.
his
Like
share of
allergies
this
or
land.
No.
notwithstanding.
But because it causes an asthma attack, I tend to inhale it deeper,
Oh, okay.
and then it gets stuck in there.
Yeah,
So
and then the recovery
every
from lung things like that can be upwards of a year.
The great Emperor Crab. Their wise
in some
women
cases. Yeah, he was kind of
depends on how bad it
rambling.
gets.
I'm gonna walk right through their little sand garden.
Yeah, it's very this is like a thing, the sand gardens.
They have like the Dark
It's
Elves.
a meditative act.
The Dark Elves have taken the bits of culture from like a dozen different cultures to create their actual Dunmar culture. Hexy said, "My day's fine. My lungs are killing me, but I'm good. I'm so glad you're still streaming. I really wanted to make it to watch and show my support." Honestly, about 50 minutes ago, Hexy, the stream randomly died. We were booted from the game. The server died. The server dying killed the stream, and we had to restart the stream, which is really sad. We almost didn't restart it, but here we are. And I'm glad you made it too. I'm sorry about your lungs. Is today like your Friday? Do you have weekends off? Do you get to chill for a few days now? Imagine being here in real life, all this ash in the air. Not good for you.
Yeah, it'd be pretty. Actually, a lot of smoke coming off of volcanoes is like can kill you.
That's not surprising because there's like a lot of poison gases in volcanoes, right? Like actually, most gases are poisonous in general.
That's why getting to chill out around the volcanoes are always a touch dangerous. That is not what I wanted. I wanted my map.
I was about to say, very brave decision. Although the horse is made of fire, so maybe it could clomp through the lava. Right. Just watch your toes. Deliver the spear to Drelyth. Drelyth.
He had a very talkative ancestor.
Yes, he did. Good gosh. We just went on. You know, probably because we're the first people in an age. He was all excited about our flesh.
You're back. Just in time, too. The Ashlanders' mood has soured since you set out. I'm not sure how much longer I can linger.
Yeah, the Ashlanders have a lot more going on than dealing with your territorial claims, buddy.
Is this? By the three, this is Calderas, the Heleron spear of myth.
Doesn't look like a spear. Looks like a magical staff.
In my hands. Remarkable. Did my ancestors say why he wanted me to have it? So my ancestors fought alongside the Ashlanders to bring down the great Emperor Crab. Unbelievable. But what happened to them? Why did they vanish? Yes, in the shadow of Scar, we found our home. There are few things more sacred than a dead hero's wish. I will see our
He's gonna rebuild his home in the enclave of the Ashlanders. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Owes you a great debt, my friend. Thank you.
Well, nobody would be fighting him for this real estate aside from the Ashlanders.
The secular Dark Elves are so imperialistic.
Where did you come by it?
Oh dear.
Our mutual friend found it in my family's tomb. It belonged to my ancestor, Dranoth Heleron.
Dranoth? Wise one. Isn't that...
Yes. The unsung. Wiped from our history when he led his kin away from the Velothi path.
You know him then? Dranoth battled Scar alongside your people, didn't he? He used this spear to fell the beast.
Yes. Dranoth's kin, your kin, were once clan friends. When Dranoth left the path, our Ashkan slaughtered him and his people. A sin that still haunts us. We rarely speak of it.
Perhaps we can make amends. I have no quarrel with the tribes, but my ancestors have claim here. Aldrin is our home.
Absolutely not. The houses claim our land, our livelihoods. They will not take Scar from us as well.
Farseer, I have no desire to displace anyone. I will welcome the Velothi people to my table. Your pilgrimages, your cairns, your celebrations, all will remain as it is. You have my word.
The sins of your great houses do not wash away the unsung's claim. The Velothi people honor the past, even when it is inconvenient. Settle here if you wish, son of Dranoth. I only pray that Scar is big enough for both of us.
Thank you, wise one. You honor me and my ancestors. I vow to show your people equal respect.
As promises go, that was pretty lame.
heartfelt, I think.
Lexi said, that explains the title. Tomorrow will be my... Glad you decided to restart the stream. Yeah, well, we'd only been going an hour, so it was like... not long enough.
Yeah.
So now we can head back to Vivek's palace. I'm glad we resolved that.
And we had one of those Gotham Knights ones where I think we nearly went for
It was over.
like 5 hours.
It was
getting close.
approaching the 6-hour mark.
Oh yeah, that feels about right. It was way too long.
Yeah,
The headache.
it's an addictive
the
game,
headache
though.
after.
I know, and it's not like there's not really a lot you can play in that game if we're not playing it together. So it's like not playing it kind of sucks. I'm just playing like dailies in ESO or Fortnite. Or I tried booting up Diablo 4, but I don't really want to play it by myself. It's really fun though. We should stream it someday.
I don't like the looks of
Indeed.
that sky.
Actually, the Steam summer sale is happening right now. You should see if it's super cheap.
Oh, is it cross-platform?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's super, what's the word I'm looking for? Super amenable to anyone being able to play with anyone.
As a god weakens, so too does his city suffer. I know my people grow fearful. Even the Archcanon is distressed. But the energy that remains to me holds the moon.
I still go back to set the moonlit down, dumb shit.
So what news
Yeah,
does
we
the
don't need to
harsh
hover it
years bring to
directly
me?
over the city in a menacing way.
How this upstart Ashlander learned to attune Sotha Seal's tool confounds my understanding. And he dares use my power? Still, your help is appreciated. Every strike and parry takes us one step closer to ending this threat and restoring my vitality.
Due to Lord
How
Vivek's
do you keep
condition,
getting stronger?
it
It's
falls upon
amazing!
us to find
Tell
a
me the
solution.
secret.
Lord Vivek must conserve his remaining energy, so we need to solve this problem on our own. It all comes back to Chodala. That damned Ashlander's draining the warrior poet's power. We need to stop him and get that damned staff. How should I know? That's not a skill the Tribunal teaches. Return to Barrelzar's tower and get Sothasil's former apprentice to come up with some kind of countermeasure. I'm sure he knows more than he's told you. I do have one concern, though. You see right through me, Outlander. I have more worries than a Kwama queen has eggs. I'm talking about Chodala's sister. Saren claims to want to help, to want peace, but I don't trust her. Seek out Barrelzar, but be wary of the Ashlander's sister. We need to stop Chodala, and to do that, we need to find a way to overcome the device he's wielding. Find Barrelzar and make sure that crazy mage provides you with something we can use to save Lord Vivek. Is the bull sure it can bed the Betty? No. But by all accounts, we'll be better off with Sunara in our hands and away from Chodala. That won't be possible, however, as long as the Ashlander remains impervious to every attack.
Alright, so we've cut through the bureaucracy and the mystery surrounding the ailment, and now it's just a matter of figuring out how to murder a demigod. We're not getting paid enough for this. Though the gratitude of one of the tribunal could be worth something in the end.
I have a feeling that if and when we finally get to talk to Sophasil about all this, he's just gonna be snarky.
Yeah, he's gonna treat us like dirt, probably. He's so detached from reality, as all gods would be.
Having played Clockwork City once before, I never found him condescending or that he treated the character like dirt. Just detached.
Yeah, I don't mean
Definitely.
treat us like dirt, like he would be rude or anything. Just that the mortal world is not very consequential to Sotha Seal.
No, not very consequential at all.
I think Amalexia is more involved in the Ebonheart Pact questline.
Yes, I remember doing some quests for her. I could not begin to tell you what they were about, but I do remember her actually talking to me a few times.
Lexi said, I'm gonna listen and make some dinner. Don't worry, I'll stick around for the night. Yeah, what are you making for dinner? I haven't eaten. Sounds good. Maybe I'll have some chicken noodle soup.
You still have some,
I
clearly.
do.
Oh my.
If you notice, check this out before we leave. Go into first person mode and check out Ember. She's got a fairly basic little outfit on, but she's got a necklace made of a fish skeleton, which I like to think is a perfect fit for a catfolk.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I did notice that before, but I thought it was a logo on her shirt.
No, it's...
I didn't realize that was a necklace.
Also, I like... My headcanon is that the giant pot on her belt is moon sugar.
Oh, Lord.
It's not necessarily skooma, just moon sugar.
Yeah, they do like their sweets.
We need to return to Feralzar's tower.
Alright, and how long did you plan on us going for the stream, just so we have an idea?
Officially, including where we died, and by died I mean the stream died, we are at the 2-hour mark right now. How are you feeling?
Yeah. I could go probably another hour, but not much more than that.
I wouldn't like to go more than an hour either. That would put us at the 3-hour mark. Anything more than that starts to get marathon-y.
Yeah, and I don't want to burn out. This is something I want to keep enjoying. So we did make it past Orsamar, finally.
Yes.
And that was very terrifying, because we've gotten hooked up and stopped at Orsamar so many times in a row.
Like, at least 3 separate attempts. Even this time, though, it did stop. It stopped us for like a month.
That had more to do with my hands, though.
Yeah.
I did apologize for that, but there was just nothing that could be done. I
Well,
didn't know they were that bad.
Part of it was your hand surgery, and then also, I was still working at the time. Like, here on summer break, it's definitely a lot less consequential, but once I'm working again, and we're streaming on weeknights, like, there's definitely only so much I can do.
Indeed.
That's why, like, during the school year, I like definitely can only do 7 to 9. Except like on Friday, like today I could go later, but even on Friday I'll still have been awake since 5 a.m. So like 5-hour marathons are probably not gonna happen.
I wouldn't blame you in the least.
Oh, no.
5-hour marathons just randomly are a little tough for me.
Yeah.
I paid for that.
Not as young as we once were. Exy says, shepherd's pie and wild berry tea for dinner tonight. Care for any? I have never both of you. Shepherd's pie actually sounds amazing.
One of my favorites.
I don't know if Prickly is still in chat, but he loves shepherd's pie. That's like one of his all-time favorites.
Shepherd's pie where it's lamb, or is it a herder's pie where you subbed in ground beef?
Is someone up there?
A herder's pie.
Some help down here.
It's the same philosophy. Because I actually love both, but definitely the shepherd's pie is the favorite. Lamb is delicious.
Hurry, please. I have a natural aversion to day draft.
Haven't we killed hunger before?
Yeah, it seems to be a kind of
It's not a specific entity, it's just a breed. It touched me.
Yeah.
Oh. What kind of apprentice of one of the living tribunal can't kill a Daedra? Not very impressive, Berylzar.
So hard to concentrate and maintain schedules when interruptions constantly occur. Don't they know the Great Gear never pauses in its rotations? So that was
Break
you
the
up
wheel!
there. I
Sorry.
appreciate
Can't
your
help it.
assistance. Daedric entities can be very unpredictable. Logic has very little place in the behavior of Daedra, my hopeful associate. Studying the fabric of reality does tend to attract unwanted attention. These creatures appeared just before you entered my tower. I wonder, why have you returned? Ah, a modification of my master's old experiments, turning a simple tool into a dangerous weapon.
I quite agree with him on it being
Yes, but
very
also
ingenious.
quite brilliant.
I mean, it's turned
A tonal
Chodala
inverter
into a
should come with
demigod,
it.
so good for him.
Uses sound waves to temporarily disrupt the flow of energy. No, of course not. I just invented it. I need proper components
another
to build
fetch
such a
quest.
device. My hirelings scour the land for materials all the time. Here's a list. Head out the back door and ask them to direct you to these common dwarven components. Hirelings? Yes, they worked for me, before they quit, ungrateful netches. Still, I paid them well before the pistons slipped their alignments. They should know where to find the components. Last I heard, Snorfen and the others were in Molag Mar. The situation is wound dangerously tight, but I believe the gears revolve around you. Once you leave, I should be perfectly safe. Or at least as safe as I ever am in the midst of all these experiments. You, however, stay vigilant, my friend. I could, but I won't pour 5-year-old Flynn into a cracked decanter. No offense. Suffice it to say, they're fairly common as far as Dwemer components go. Use the list and talk to my former hirelings. I'll build the device the moment you return.
Not that far then.
Oh, thank goodness.
They're in Moligmar.
Exy
Sounds
answered
like.
you. He said, bourbon glazed lamb as the protein.
Oh god, that just sounds perfection. I typically whiskey glaze, but that's a stylistic preference. Bourbon is delicious.
You know, half my family is Lebanese. They do love their lamb, but I haven't had lamb shepherd's pie in a long time.
The difficult part is finding lamb locally.
Mhm.
Once you solve that little conundrum, and it looked like Meyer had just gotten some in. Some of it may be frozen, but, you know, after you do a slow cook that long anyways, it usually is pretty tasty.
Finding a lot of things locally is difficult where we live, unless you're in the mood to just eat freshwater seafood.
Oh no, I'm trespassing in an area. We don't want to be here.
Oh boy. I hate that we can get a bounty for trespassing in Ashlander land. Or Ashlander territory. Like the civilized people are gonna give us bounties. That would be like if we got a bounty for trespassing in, I don't know, like a goblin cave. I think all these people are essentially in the same dungeon, which will be nice. I'm trailing a little bit behind you, and I didn't know we were going to engage this Nexox, and your skeleton just clawed his way out of the ground right in front of me, and I was like, oh my gosh. It's on like Donkey Kong!
Oh my goodness. The moment we're like, yep, that's right, I have a necromancer in the party. Woo!
You'd think I'd get used to it, but it keeps throwing me off. Oh, that reminds me. Diablo 4, one of the main classes, is a necromancer. And
I heard it's not very fun for everyone else if you play as a necromancer.
For everyone else, maybe, but for the necromancer player, phenomenal. Because unlike ESO, having played extensive amounts of Diablo 3, the necromancers in Diablo are actually built to have hordes. Like, every enemy that you kill can be resurrected. And you can have like upwards of dozens and dozens of undead thralls. People say it's not fun to play with a necromancer because it gets hard to see what's going on.
Damned vampires! I'll find a way to make them pay for what they did.
Vampires in Vardenfell?
Tribunal and any Daedra willing enough to listen. What do you want? Can't you leave a person to her anger and her grief? He did he? Let me see that list. Well, the crazy old mage always said there were no coincidences. The inversion conduit. I saw one in Galone Deus.
No. We kill vampires all the time.
Yeah, we're pretty good at killing vampires. We've definitely handled a few.
The Burn Clan killed my
brother. It was a delightful series I read where they literally talked about cattle and farming humans.
I've seen one movie where the setting of the movie was a post-vampire world where...
Oh, I hope it's not the one that's so terrible.
It was the one with, I can't remember any of the actors' names, but it wasn't good.
Because the mage wanted to send me to the far side of Vardenfell.
Yeah, there's one that's infamous for just how badly written it was, but they had some really good actors in it, so it's kind of hilarious to see good acting try to save terrible
said,
terrible choices.
I played an explosion build with necromancy. It was quite fun. In Diablo, yeah, Diablo's so freeform, especially like Diablo 4. There's so much you can do within the classes. Like just turn all your thralls into explosives.
If you're another pilgrim looking for charity, I suggest you move along. I have neither the time to waste nor the gold to spare. I'm currently between employment, and my own funds have become dangerously depleted. Let me see that. What's that crazy mage need this time? I suppose you could find a manual clockwork shaft in the Nichuleft ruins. But I'd avoid that place if I were you. If the roof doesn't collapse, the constructs will rip you apart. If you insist. Deep in the ruins churns a big machine. When I was there, it sputtered and vibrated, collapsing parts of the ceiling. Lava and rock fell everywhere. You need to get past that and some nasty constructs to retrieve the item. That mage is a menace. Oh, he always paid well, but the places he asked me to go, each was more dangerous than the last. And if I had to hear about the great gear
there's one last person to talk to.
For my own health and sanity, I had to break ties with Barrelzar.
Oh no! I missed the... And I don't really want to talk to the archives guy.
Oh, the Daedra.
Not that they're not really adorable and all, but...
Oh, here's one. Mortal, do you have a moment?
No, get out of here, demon.
I feel like such a puny snowback.
Hexy said the pie is baking. If I may, what's your favorite food?
What can this broken Nord do for you?
What do you think, Shadow? You have a favorite food?
Oh, yes. It's probably grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese. Oh, good choice. I do love cheese in all forms. With or without tomato soup.
All right, let me see that.
I mean, it could be an added thing. It's also good with any soup, just about.
Do you put
as long as the broth is tasty.
Do you put anything on grilled cheese? Tomatoes, bacon, anything like that?
I've done ham before, I've done salami. Probably a good garlic bologna is about the tastiest.
Do you have a panini maker? That's a good...
Yes.
Turn a grilled cheese into a panini.
Oh, yes. And on homemade bread is
Not just
even more
ghosts,
superior.
Ghosts that possess dwarven machines. I'm through
Something
working
about
for that
homemade
crazy
bread.
old mage and his clockwork monstrosities. But if you want to get past the steam
What about
trap,
you, Hexy?
find
Do you have
my
a favorite
notes
food?
and follow the
Is
directions.
it shepherd's pie? Are you about to consume your favorite food? Or probably something with mushrooms, isn't it?
I know if you're a Karasi, you have to tell us your favorite food too.
My favorite food? I really like pecan pie quite a bit.
What pie?
Pecan pie?
Oh, pecan pie. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but not southern. Not southern pecan pie.
There's a difference.
Southern pecan pie is spicy, and I don't like it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and there's also a chocolate variation. It's no good. Classic pecan pie with the richest jelly filling you can find. And a nice buttery crust.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like
that...
nice big fat pecans.
Yeah, you can even honey glaze the nuts to start
Mm-hmm.
before you add them in. I used to make a pecan pie for my brother-in-law every Christmas.
That's what I always get instead of a birthday cake.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't... I like birthday cake, but like, given the choice, I'll do pecan pie. Hexy said... I'd more than likely say pecan pie and mushroom soups more likely, and then he said, hey, me too. Yes, pecan pie lovers, rise up. Because
I've always found it too sweet.
my preference is savory over sweet, but pecan pie kind of hits both because it's salty and sweet. Candied pecan preferred, classic northern pecan pie, yup. Hexy gets it.
Every recipe I've ever used makes it way too sweet. I wind up pulling the pecans off the top.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
jelly.
Like, pecan pie there's a lot of variation in pecan pie. Like, I've definitely had bad ones. Alright, where are we off to first?
Well, the vampire dungeon, we actually know where it is.
We've already done it.
Yeah, we have. The other possibility is one of the other dungeons, Nuked component.
Mm-hmm.
We just got the Valley of the Wind Way Shrines.
Yep.
So we could get there really fast. So that kind of would be my vote.
Okie dokie. That's gonna take us into a, this is gonna take us... Wait for me. It's gonna take us towards Telvanni land. Or Telvanni territory. A touch uncomfortably close to slave lands.
I thought you were gonna say you're touch uncomfortably close to me.
Well,
I'm like, you're the one gripping my butt.
I was gonna say, I am holding onto your butt for dear life.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to walk from here. It's definitely a little more.
Just more. More in general.
I hope I helped.
Oh yeah, we found it.
Yeah, I'd say that's a Dwemer ruin. Good. Just banged my head on the way down. Oh, you found the entrance.
I don't even want to think about the kind of creepy.
It's definitely gonna be like multiple zones.
I'm delving.
Layers.
Multiple layers? Oh, yeah, it's quite small. Looks like someone's already cleared it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of Vardenfell being the event, there's definitely more players around.
Alright, we also have ourselves a sky shard.
Oh, lovely. Delicious. So...
down and over yonder.
Oh my goodness.
It's a bit big.
There's a lot going on. I see the sky shard. It's... What are we fighting? It's way down there.
Well, I thought about jumping, and then I also thought about, well, we may want to just, actually look for the way down.
Yeah. I don't think even I could survive that far of a fall. I figured out if I can kind of like... If I can count to like higher than 7, I'm probably not going to survive the fall.
You won't know until after you, jump.
Yeah. When I plap on the ground. Is that a player?
I think so.
Must be a little baby player. Level 35.
Yeah, little baby.
On their first adventure. That could be the next emperor. Seated upon the ruby throne. There's been a few that we've seen. I've seen at least 2. This is a big Dwemer ruin. I don't know if it's the biggest we've been in, but it's definitely one of the biggest.
Wiggle and waggle over to the sky shard, because it looks like it's actually a little closer.
Yep.
Well...
It's dangerously close to the lava, but, whatever.
We're in Vattenfell. Everything's close to the lava.
That is true. Man, that was only my first of 3. Ugh. I've been spending all my points lately on my crafting trees. I realized the scribing system does not use skill points, so you don't have to save any for it.
Scribing system? It doesn't?
Okay. No, it uses some kind... It has its own proprietary currency that you use, which apparently you generate naturally just from adventuring. Also, I don't know if you follow the ESO accounts on social media, if we get the final achievement for completing the Vardenfell chapter before the end of July, we will get a customized recall animation you can use.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Did you find it? It was in this chest.
Yep.
Nice.
It's in the chest.
We can get out of here.
Trying to see easiest way back up. We'll figure it out. We always do. There.
I've been playing with the idea of speccing into the werewolf skill line. Not convinced of it yet, just something that I've mused once or twice over. Might be fun.
I'm sure there's high elf werewolves.
It's kind of a fun dichotomy. Very prim and proper elvish sorcerer ranger and also a werewolf.
Well, we ran into that sword that causes whoever uses it to become a werewolf.
That's true. It was a helmet, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a helmet.
Because he put it on and then mutated. I also found out that I didn't look it up, so I don't know exactly what zones, but there are specific mobs of werewolves that do have like a 0.01% chance of infecting you with lycanthropy, many of which inhabit Skyrim.
Interesting. I'm gonna bet it's the same for vampirism.
It is, yeah. But I'm sure there are like Reddit threads that have like the areas mapped out, and it's like such an extraordinarily rare drop, but it can happen.
Let's
what Ash Exiles are doing in here. There wasn't any kind of quest tied to this delve.
Mining is what it looked like. Oh, this is the wrong way.
Not a particularly safe place to mine. I know, like, the Reach folk won't even... They don't even want the resources from Wimmer Ruins, because they're so, like, insular. But obviously...
I'd rather be made out of bones.
Yeah. Bones and pelts.
Okay, well... Oh, and we somehow missed the main boss, wherever it was. Oh well.
Kind of okay with that. Gives us a reason to come back one day.
Okay. Now actually figuring out where the heck to go next. So we're not going to be getting back up there.
We could just portal straight to one.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the next one is. Well,
it's directly south of us. Do you have the... I can't pronounce that word. Yeah, if we get to the main road, you can just carry us south.
Ah, I can carry. Clamber aboard!
Yeah.
And try not to look.
I feel like this mount smells like...
Yeah.
Sulfur.
I was gonna... Yeah, sulfur.
Yeah.
The scent of demons. Here's the road. Lexi said the pie is done. Would you like some? Absolutely.
Rosie!
I would love some shepherd's pie. I haven't had dinner yet. I am actually getting a wee bit hungry. I don't think this is the road. You've taken a turn.
Indeed. I only have so much patience for the road.
The road's a dangerous thing. It can take you from one end of Tamriel to the other. There's no telling where you'll end up when you step out your front door.
Are we really quoting The Hobbit right now?
You know, the fact that you could recognize the quote is why we're friends.
Yeah.
That is not a movie quote.
No, it is not, and that's what makes it better. There was like a full version of the song from the book.
Yeah, I think the Hobbit movies actually involve more of the songs than the Lord of the Rings movies do.
Oh, we have ourselves another...
Oh dear.
Yeah.
This is no place.
Don't worry, I'm not...
No place for a mount. Just pitch us headfirst into the lava. I'm sure we'll be fine.
We probably would actually, but...
As long as we got out quickly.
You'd be cross with me.
We're both fairly magical beings. We have wards around us at all times.
I'm partially through likedom, so I literally have no sensation of cold or warm at this point.
Awesome. One day they're gonna release like an actual like skin. And I don't mean like a costume, I mean like an actual skin for your skin. And the transformation will be complete.
Indeed.
And by release I just mean put it back in the active rotation. I'm sure it's already been done.
Yeah,
Right.
I would have used the polymorph, but it was a male-like. There was no option for female-like, and I was like, nope.
That's unfortunate. You'd think they would make two. most of like the costumes and stuff have a variation depending on
Or have
the
a
gender of your character.
gender swap option
Right.
for it? Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know how polymorphs work though, because I've never used one, so maybe they don't do that, which is a bit surprising.
I think they're just being a little sexist on that all likes are going to be men.
Ridiculous. Have they not met the leader of the undead from World of Warcraft? Sylvanas.
Oh my. We have a close waypoint I'm gonna go grab before we go delving. Just
Okie
because
dokie.
there's a chance it could pop us out somewhere else.
True that. You can definitely tell we're closer to Red Mountain.
Did the lava give it away?
Almost as if we're in a volcanic biome.
I do like how they made the way shrines look like Daedric altars.
Mm-hmm.
That would seem like the most logical thing that would be here at this point.
Yeah, I love seeing how different cultures build their way shrines. I think my favorite so far is still the Reach Folk way shrines that are almost like cairns. Actually, that might be Hrothgar. I can't remember.
I am not sure. It has already been long enough that has been deleted from my brain.
Long-term RAM only holds on to the most important files.
That's not true, because I still remember the original 150 Pokemon.
Oh no, but that's a very important file.
I know, right?
Gollum Deus. On the slopes of Red Mountain, beneath the eternal pall of the volcano. Okay. I didn't want to read that anyway in a dramatic voice, it's fine.
Oh, they made it go away. I didn't even look at it because they usually go by so fast.
The flavor text never gets enough time to read. Yet another Ashlander clan.
Games,
You're looking especially
one of the Final
strong
Fantasy
lately.
games literally had an orator that would read the intro text for any new area you went into.
It's kind of
A couple
nice.
times it was like silly things like a poem. Oh, Ian hated it, but I loved it. It was the same orator who did the Laurel Engel Wilder books, audiobooks.
Okay.
So she was pretty decent.
You realize Laura Ingalls Wilder could have actually narrated her own audiobooks, like she lived long enough.
Yeah, I know, right?
Kind of crazy.
And what I sounded like an old lady, though.
It's like John Wayne, when he was a kid, knew and was like associates with Wyatt Earp. That's why he did so many westerns.
Yeah, Western as a genre was way more popular back then, too.
I like to say that westerns were the superheroes for our grandparents. Like, as far as Hollywood, nothing but the thing is, people today weren't alive during the Western era. It was so much bigger than superheroes. Westerns in, like, the 50s and 60s, like, that was it. That, like, dominated Hollywood. Because the cowboy is the most American idea. No one else has cowboys like we do. Even in sci-fi, if you want like a really American character, you go cowboy.
Yeah, that's the reason Han Solo was so popular.
Mm-hmm. Or Firefly.
Yeah, that too, definitely.
They call themselves... I'm not going to read all these. The clan that we're dealing with has stolen... Wait. Are we killing vampires right now?
Nope.
Okay. There's a player here.
Won't give me its treasure, dear brother.
Allow me, my sister. This should open miserable construct.
Those are vampires. Look how pale they are. Wait, hang on. Yeah, those are vampires. You got the control rod?
I think we both have a control rod.
But I think we can only do one at a time.
I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with the control rod.
I think one of these spiders randomly has the component. You just have to keep raising them.
Oh, okay.
That would be my guess. Because that one went right up to the chest and then died.
Time to bring the lightning.
Oh, this one wants to kill us.
We've killed worse than a few dwarven spiders. There it is.
Hello, little kitten of mine.
I can't retrieve component. Well,
Did that track for you?
that tracked. Potentially because you used the spider rod, I couldn't interact with it, but it did track. All I have left is retrieve the Arkenthunk Sturmdu's component, however you say that. Sturmdums.
Exciting times. There's been more than a few fancy components where it's been like, I guess. Thingamabob. Whatchamacallit.
We call this one
Doodad.
MacGuffin.
No. Isn't a MacGuffin supposed to be a pointer to something else that's come before, though?
I mean, it's just a plot device, right? Like, the One Ring is the ultimate MacGuffin. It's an inanimate object that's a plot device that moves the narrative. Like the Halo is a MacGuffin. Or the Elder Scrolls are kind of ultimately our ultimate MacGuffin. But there could be lots of little MacGuffins. Now I've said it too many times, and it just sounds like a noise.
It's okay.
This is gonna be fun.
Not sure.
I really feel like you'd like the Imager series. Because they go into really big existential crises over how naming anything takes away some of its power. They're a fun group. It has a habit of jumping genres, though, but just the author in general has that habit. Book to book.
I like that a Dwemer ruin in Vardenfell is very aesthetically different from a Dwemer ruin in Skyrim.
Well, reasonably speaking, these were not necessarily groups of people that talked to each other regularly.
Yeah, I mean the
So
Dwemer.
This would have made a lot of sense for somewhere to put a iron mine or any kind of refining mine because it's next to volcano. Just
Well,
pump lava.
before they died, or vanished, the I don't have a quest marker. Oh, because we have to
it's over-
retrieve the final one.
Yep.
The Dwemer's ultimate capital was Red Mountain. Exie said, "I finished my dinner. It's time."
I just realized where we are. We're not going to be able to. I can try to ride as far as I can.
Yeah, we're at the breeding grounds of the Cliff Racers, sadly. And there's no easy way to get to this location, because there's not really roads this far north. Is that a
That
just
was
a
Sky
sky
Shard. We've
shard?
already obtained it.
I saw the glow and I thought it was a Sigil portal, and then I saw the player and I was like, ah, we missed it. Exy, I hope you appreciate that the entire land we're in is just studded with giant mushrooms everywhere.
Yeah, it's a problem. They actually make fun of the Order of Mages here, the Telvanni, for all the mushrooms.
I mean, the
They live in
Telvanni,
mushrooms.
yeah, they literally live in mushroom towers. Hexy said, "Good luck, brave adventurers. Once you are finished, come and visit my cabin. I've many potions and wares I think you will find most desirable." And then, in reference to the mushrooms in Vardenfell, he said, "I've taken notice and I'm so jealous." You had me until cabin. Cabin has like ominous connotations. Like now I'm thinking like Evil Dead.
Yeah, you're gonna take us out there and murder us?
Yeah, turn us into mushroom stew.
Call the Leviathan, something.
Sacrifice us for the Necronomicon. You know something I've always loved about the Evil Dead? It's a weird, subtle detail. Near the beginning of every movie and the series, one of the first demons that gets summoned, when it encounters Ash, they always say the same thing to it each time. They say, "It is time once again to test the mettle of man."
I'm gonna show off a little.
Uh-huh. I've never watched Evil Dead, so...
I mean, it's horror comedy. It's fun, though. Spectral War
More specifically, zombies, and I'm not anti-zombie, but zombies aren't enough to excite me and sell me on, hey, I better go do this.
Evil Dead is, they're not zombies. They're deadites, which are demonically possessed people.
Oh, that's somewhat better.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, there's no zombies in Evil Dead.
Big mistake.
Evil Dead's interesting, though, if you go off the original trilogy of movies, because it goes black horror to horror comedy, and then the final movie is comedy horror.
Woo! That was fun.
Yeah, I wonder where I was.
The first movie was actually banned in most theaters in the world, and then eventually received a NC-17 rating. Pretty hard to watch.
There was a couple of the Sauls. I don't remember which ones now. I wasn't a huge Saw person either. More because I love horror. I'm not wowed about Gorefest, which is probably also why I'm not wowed about zombie movies.
The thing about Saw is, at a certain point, when you get into the lore of Saw from like the Fool series, once you get past the death traps, you realize that Saw becomes a telenovela, and the main characters are all of the apprentices of Jigsaw. And it really is just like a soap opera, which is phenomenal. But there are people that just watch Saw for the death traps, and that's a bit concerning. Honestly, though, for the time that it was made, Saw's death traps, to a large extent, are pretty tame. Like, psychologically they're horrifying, but like, as far as like the practical effects of what you're seeing on screen, most of them aren't too bad. The rack in Saw 3 is pretty bad, but most of them aren't the worst things I've ever seen. I would say Evil Dead is much worse as far as graphic violence than Saw, but Saw is more gratuitous. Lexi said, Not so, not so. Mind not the green light in the cellar, and the cartoonishly large pot is purely aesthetic. Please come in, I have pie. No, I don't know about all that.
Thank you for that. Hansel and Gretel was such a great.
This is also the person that literally wanders the woods all day, collecting wild mushrooms and plants. Like, is your cabin walking around on chicken legs? Are you the Baba Yaga?
I played it up once to my neighbors to get them a little scared of me, especially the kids, where I did a witch's laugh. Somebody actually was muttering about, do you think she's a witch? Like, why are you going with this?
You're like, no, but I'm fine with you thinking that. Hold on to that feeling.
You're about to meet with a terrible trap.
What's the great quote from the beginning of Majora's Mask? You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
Met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
It's such a good line. I don't know.
That game is really about existential crises.
Have you ever watched the Game Theorists, or Game Theory, whatever it's called, on YouTube? They did like a 2-hour-long analysis of if you approach Majora's Mask with the expectation that Link has died at the end of Ocarina of Time, and that Majora's Mask is the afterlife, they go through and basically describe all the different points in the game that represent the stages of grief. And how...
Oh yeah, the stages of grief was intentional.
Yeah, and then the inner moon being all calm and peaceful, being acceptance there at the end. It's really, really well done, honestly. It's such a good game. Exy said, the chicken legs are unrelated to my witchcraft. Simply forget where I put my house. It's far more convenient that it follows me. I have concerns. This concerns me tremendously. I think it was the Books of Magic from DC, which is the penultimate graphic novel that goes through all the different occult aspects of DC Comics, and there's a boy that's essentially Harry Potter that's taken by 4 different travelers through the past, the present, the future, and the Fae. And John Constantine takes him through the present, which includes the Fae, as his spirit guide. And they encounter the Baba Yaga at one point. And Constantine's like, look, I've shook hands with Superman. He has a good, strong grip. We're not going to mess with the Baba Yaga. We're just going to mosey on by.
Yeah, there was a cool short story collection that was about steampunk fantasy, and they did a steampunk version of the Baba Yaga.
Lovely.
It was delightful.
So note for both of us, do not give Hexy a gift. Do not accept a gift. Do not make any kind of verbal agreement or contract or express gratitude of any sort.
Are we talking about the Baba Yaga, or are we thinking that
These are just general rules of the Fae. Exy said, you must not worry, it is completely safe to tell me your full name, and I advise making a deal with me. They always turn out well for both of us. My pie is a gift, please enjoy it. See?
I remember. The components for the tonal inverter.
I think you're a witch.
To acquire them.
Very few games actually explore the Fae as a phenomenon, which I feel like is such a sad part of video game fantasy that we don't think about it.
Yeah, because video games at their core are all about kill, 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 and the Fae is more of an existential concept. I loved how fade the elves were in The Hobbit. Tolkien got away from that quite a bit as he turned them into more of a civilization later on. But especially like the Mirkwood elves, they were so Fae.
Most definitely.
One tonal inverter coming up. Connect this, tighten the spring. Don't
Don't explode.
He just said don't explode.
There.
Oh boy. What have you crafted? A tonal inverter. Strange, unwieldy device has been cobbled together from various dwarven components and is supposed to counteract the power of Sunara. Makes me think of the gun from the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Do you like it, my latest creation? I call it the tonal inverter. Did I mention that already? No matter. It should counteract Sophia
remember
Seal's
who the
modified
quote
staff,
was to, because I'm
at
not
least
great with Guardians of the Galaxy lore. But I remember him yelling at somebody,
correct?
"But you said you were going to eat me!"
Of course you don't.
I like
just invented
kind of the absurdist humor throughout those movies. When the genocidal space tyrant has touched down on the planet and he's about to just eradicate the surface of the planet, and Peter Quill starts doing footloose dancing next to him, and this dude is like staring at him in just complete disbelief, outrage. And he's like, "What? What are you doing?" He's like, "Dance off, you and me."
Yes. Yeah, that's gonna work on the villain.
Easier script
Well
jelly
done.
pie. One person operates the control.
Dance off to save the universe.
And it reaches the proper pitch.
Or he's like talking about being in love with Gamora, and Drax is like, "You are a dancer. Gamora is not. You need someone that is pathetic like you."
Oh, did he actually say that?
Yeah.
That's pretty great. Yeah. She's the quintessential actual hero. You're pretty pathetic.
Yeah. Exy said, "You will come around. I offer many things. The price is only what you desire most. Surely you wouldn't mind. The woods hold secrets well. The trees hardly ever speak." That sounds a little bit more serial killer-ish towards the end there. Mushrooms are a phenomenal way to break down a corpse. I think we can portal back to Vivek City. We have cobbled together a MacGuffin in the form of a secret weapon. You have recently recalled. Oh, it's not that bad. Exy said, "Just don't." I ask only that you remove all iron. I'm not keen on iron. Yeah, slightly sus.
Easy to get lost in a place like this.
Makes you wonder a bit
That's
about
one of my
the
favorite parts about cities.
organic divinity of the tribunal that Dwemer and clockwork contraptions can affect them so heavily. Exy said, "Just your local fae. I mean not to hurt you. It doesn't serve either of us well."
Lord Vivek, protect us.
Pull yourself
I like that the
buoyant
buoyant
armatures
armatures
of
have
Vivek's
glass in their armor. Because they live in a volcanic place. Makes sense. Hello, Wabi. Rub your fat belly. Vivek's not in here. Oh, we're not going to Vivek. Don't mind me, I've just taken it wrong.
Your presence defiles this city, Ashlander. How dare you demand to see our god?
I'm here to help.
Okay,
If you
now
won't listen
Capitals
to
are
me,
bros.
listen to the Outlander.
I just got here, so I'm gonna be a little behind.
Thank the three. The Outlander has returned. Was Barrowsal able to help us? Pay no attention to this Ashlander. She's been blathering on about Lord Vivek's condition and how she can help. but I'm certain it's a trick of some sort. I was just about to have her thrown out of the city, or possibly tossed to the slaughterfish. I know who she is. I still don't trust her, and I refuse to let her anywhere near Lord Vivec. Who knows what an Ashlander would do while the warrior poet is in such a fragile state? A tonal what now? Well, since I can't go with you, but with Lord Vivec requiring my undivided attention, I suppose we'll have to let the Ashlander assist you. Very well. Take her and defeat Chodala. Then bring me a staff so we can restore Vivec.
If that old idiot is what passes
Oh,
for a
hello,
tribunal
Miss
leader,
Kiara.
it's no wonder the
I know
houses
you
are in
want
such
to go
disarray.
bad.
No time to dwell on that,
You're
though.
such a good kid.
I found my brother, and it's worse than I feared. Chodala's quest for power has led him down a dark path.
Go make yourself a spot in there.
Chodala and his most loyal followers have taken refuge in a ruin called Kaushtarari. It's an ancient shrine devoted to the Daedric prince Malakath. I think my brother plans to ask the God of Curses to help him.
Or beat up your sibling.
It will allow us to stop Chodala? Then of course I'll help you. Since the Tribunal's dogs took my weapons, I'll need to replace them. Meet me at the ruins when you're ready.
Alright. Divine Intervention. Meet Saren at Kaushtarari. This is probably a good spot to call it for the night, because we are now between two streams at the 3-hour mark. Exy said, "Oh my, I'd completely forgotten. The otters say hi. They like the streams, I think, though it's a bit hard to tell sometimes with them." Exy, do you have pet otters? Is that what I'm hearing? You must tell us if you have pet otters, and do you hug them?
It'd be a very odd pet to have.
Yeah, that's a pretty exotic pet. I do like the otters at the zoo. They're always playing and sleeping in little piles. Otter is one of the only animals that washes its food, as far as I know. Citrus said, "Thanks for the stream, homie." Absolutely.
For whence we come, to whence we go.
Hexy said, "I do. Their names are Otto, Olive, Oscar, and Omen. We met about a few months ago." What? That is crazy. And you'll have to tell me more. Maybe in Arcadia. For now, we are going to raid, which means we have to find a raid target.
Where am I?
And I promised Toby that we would throw the raid his way if he was still alive, which he is. So I will see you all on Monday, unless I stream on the weekend, which might happen, but who knows. Okay, bye!